This is how you get your pH up in your reef tank. If you want to get your pH up in your reef tank, put a CO2 scrubber on your skimmer. I have a quick disconnect, and I have this catch can here to get any of the water that might escape out the lid. I also have a float valve in my reef octopus where if the water level gets too high, it shuts the skimmer off automatically through the float valve. Another safety mechanism is put your recirculating media above your skimmer so that the water would have to go up to get into that recirculating scrubber media right there. That's a bulk reef supply, oversized reactor for the CO2 media. That lid is a reef octopus lid for the CO2 scrubber. There's a float valve in there, and then this is just a container off bulk reef supply as well that I can take, and I can drain that when the water gets a little bit built up in there, but it really keeps it out of the return line going back into the skimmer. In addition to the recirculating CO2 media scrubber, I also added this kalk. So the one on the right is my auto top off water, and this is kalk. So I'm running fully saturated kalk out of this 10-gallon container. It's hooked up to get RO water, RODI water added if it gets low, and then it's going through this Camor pump. It's running constantly at 4 milliliters. You probably can't see it. It's running constantly at 4 milliliters per minute, and it's just dripping right there back into my sump. And then my sump has 2 return pumps, one feeding my frag tank right here, and the other feeding my 120. So here's the full setup right here. And if you do that recirculating CO2 scrubber and you do that kalk dosing, you'll have no problem maintaining your pH at 8.4. I was only able to maintain my pH at 7.8 to maybe 8.1 if I was lucky, but I'm at 8.4 all day long now, and it's ideal. And I also have this Milwaukee controller here where if the pH gets above about 8.5, 8.6, it will actually shut off the kalk doser. So that's a safety I have built into this kalk doser right here. So if the pH gets too high, that Milwaukee controller is set up to turn that off. So that's a safety feature. And then the additional safety feature is the float valve in the skimmer. So if the water were to overflow the skimmer and get into the reactor media, which would take a lot, but if that were to happen, the skimmer would shut off and save my tank as well. So that's that.